Welcome to Workers Own Resources Soviet Republic, and what I want to do is start this video by talking about Community Report 19, which was released on the 20th of March 2021. The reason I'm including this in the top of the video is that the community report is quite short and there isn't that much to talk about, but there are a couple of features I do want to talk about. So rather than make a separate 3-minute video or less, what I've decided to do is just include this in the top of the video. So anyone who's just come from the gameplay, this should be a relatively quick update. Now, this community report consists of 3 sections. The first one is the fact that the devs are saying that the 0.84 update will hit the internal testing branch in the next few weeks. So that, and with the possibility of it then progressing into the public beta test branch a few weeks after that. So what we're probably looking at is the update will hit the test branch somewhere in around kind of mid to late April. And then if you take the progression beyond that, so we're probably looking at the 0.84 update hitting the stable branch in, say, the middle of May, which for me is good news. I know some of you guys will be disappointed, but that gives me plenty of time to progress this series forward, because whenever an update comes out, there's always a risk that it will break the save game. Now, I haven't seen any features in the 0.84 update that suggest that the save game will get broken. But then I said that about the tourism and airplanes update, and then I had to stop my previous series because there wasn't enough room to build the airports. So there's always a risk, but what I really would like to do is just push this series forward. So that's all I want to say about the proposed release plan. So what I'm going to do now is move on to what is probably the biggest feature of this community update. That is notifications. And if you're like me, I always keep forgetting to clear off these notifications over time, and I quite often I end up with 2 or 3 pages of them. At the moment I've just got one because I've been a little bit diligent going forward. So what the devs are going to do is add an option to delete all notifications, which I think is going to be very useful, especially in the light of what's coming up as part of the 0.84 update, because we're now going to get notifications of potential problems. That means traffic jams, stuck trains, which I think we all appreciate a notification of that, because there's nothing more annoying to, especially once your economy's got really big, to wonder why everything's slowing down, or a city's running out of food, just to find out a train's got stuck somewhere on the map and you've never noticed it. Another one that's going to be very useful is a notification of power and heating not working, which in my case again is something that's quite useful. Just to give you an example of that, is up here. Anyone who watched the previous video, you'll be aware that I hadn't finished this heating pipe here, and that actually had some consequences to the population here, but I'll talk about that a little bit later on. And having that notification that you've got problems with heating and power, because again, if I come down here, you will see that my power station here is kind of really on the edge now, and I really need to do something about that, because if I keep expanding, we're going to draw out more. There's a possibility we have brownouts, and we may have to start importing power. But what I could do is I'm just going to drop that down a little bit, just to give myself a little bit of an edge. So those notifications are very useful. Another one, again, it does relate very much to winter. It says you'll get a notification if happiness or health drops below 50%, which again returns to what happened up here in Winchester, because the power, because this pipeline wasn't complete going into winter, the actual happiness dropped really badly here, which had a kind of consequence for the population here. And then moving on to this last section in this notification section is custom notifications for factories. It says not working, out of supplies. Now again, I think this will be very useful for if you want to manage a specific industry. Say for example what I've got down here with my steel industry, because at the moment I've just kicked my steel industry off, but it's got a problem at the moment with coal, because at the moment I've got a hopper ship bringing coal in, but doesn't keep up with the iron situation here. So being able to being notified that an industry's got problems would be very useful. But then that leads on to something else I was thinking about, and that is that it's all right having all these notifications. So we got fire coming on here. To see where that fire is in my Haven't road crew. Now, my main concern with all these notifications is that we could get overwhelmed by them. And what I hope is, even if this is not in the 0.84 update, but going forward, that we'll have an option to filter the notifications. And if any of you guys play Paradox games, you probably know what I mean. And that's, you'll be able to say what type of notifications you're interested in, which ones you're not. So it'd be really good to say turn off the vehicle, new vehicle, old vehicle notifications if you're not really interested in them. So that's a feature that I would like to see added if we're going to get lots and lots of new notifications. So moving on to the last part of this community report, this is to do with buildings burning down. Now this is a feature that I've always found very irritating, because say like the fire we just had here with the Haven't road crew, if this building burns down, you can't just drop the template back in. You've got to delete the road. And if you've got a very cramped area that's been difficult to put together, that could have consequences. So what the devs are actually saying is that in the event of a building burning down, once the debris have been cleared, what you'll be able to do is get a blueprint to replace the building immediately, either by auto purchase or by building. I think that would be a very useful step forward. So that concludes the community report. If any of you come here just for the community report, thank you for watching. And for anybody who's come here for the game, we're now going to move on. And as usual, I'm going to say a very big thank you to all your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys have given me so much to think about and the way things are. And of course, as usual, you pick up on some of my mistakes. I'm just going to talk about two of the mistakes, or one threat and one mistake. It was pointed out that I was starting to push my luck with the sellers up here. So I've actually increased these back to the maximum, because Winchester is growing steadily. Now, the other thing that was pointed out was the fact that I didn't have a cargo station attached to the grain silo here, which would reduce the overall efficiency. So what I actually had to do is I had to remove the large field here and just fit this cargo station on here. But what I was able to do is get two medium fields in. It's a little bit of tight fit, you can see with the edge of the road. And then to compensate with the loss of this third medium field, I've put another one down here. So beyond that, things are going quite well. Now, somebody suggested that I still need more rail constructions. And what I'm going to be doing is putting a rail construction site up here. And what we'll probably do is come off about here and come up here, so that the rail construction yard can go in two different directions. Because of course, once we've got all this hooked up here, things should be looking pretty good. What I would like to do is put that in this video. And of course, I've done a little bit more leveling up here with respect to Gravelton. But what I really would like to do in this video is just give the game a bit of a chance to catch up. Because I've put like odd buildings in here. I've got a fire station here because my coal mine here, although technically it's available, it's got no power supply. I need to build this and this. I think that's being built. And that's just without power. What's up with this? Oh, I need to build this. I've kind of been pushing the power out here. I think we'll put the Haven destruction on this and this. Gonna get that built. Get that out there. Now down over here, my chemical plant is finished. I've got a little bit of a problem at the moment here with respect to, where is it? I think it's just here. Yeah, we're gonna need to put on a I think we'll put Portsmouth south onto this one. Yeah, what actually happened here is I got power to this area, but this one lone tower in the middle doesn't have a power supply, which is a little bit of a pain in the neck. But I don't think it's that big an issue at the moment, to be honest. I mean, I've got a few crops in here. I'm not in that much of a rush to get these chemical factories up and running. I'm going to be quite happy just to begin with, just to get everything running here. See, we got the gravel, we got the wood coming in, and once we got the, well, we need the gravel. So we got some crops, we got the oil, so we can start producing the chemicals. But what I was wanted to do was possibly postpone bringing the chemical factory up and running until I've kind of finished this road here, so we can go straight to a trolley bus from here. Now, with respect to trolley buses, I've got this area here being built in, and we've got this one over here has been built. So we're going to keep building in our trolley bus network and connecting this up. And somebody did post a comment saying that the benefits of trolley buses aren't particularly that great, and I do agree with them, but I just want to see what the issues are related to running a city with virtually all the buses using trolley buses. So that's what I'm looking at. We've got this area here is just being built in. Again, this is not connected. I'm not sure why that's not connected. Of course, we got this bit being built down here, so eventually we'll come down to here and connect up this section here. So that's what we're aiming for there. Now the next thing I'm looking at is over here, because my port is now finished, and what I've done is I think I might reduce the number of workers down to 200, because what I would like to do is get a template for another hopper ship. But you can see it's 1 million, and I'm kind of half tempted to get a loan. But before that, what I want to do is get the base resources down. If I come back to here, we click on the hopper ship, what you'll see is that we're going to need 327 tons of steel, 45 tons of mechanical components, and a tiny amount of fabric. I think that's 6.4 tons of plastic and 3.3 tons of electric components. So what I'm considering is putting in a small distribution office here with like 5 trucks on it. I'm just going to tuck that in there. We're going to build that. And what I'll do is I'll put a couple of covered holes in here, which will go off and get the electrical components and the fabric, because there's such small amounts. So we're going to just let that run, and then eventually what we'll be able to do is build a hopper ship, which will then speed up my steel production. So that's something else we want to go. Why are you guys waiting? These guys haven't got themselves. What are you waiting for? I'm a bit worried why this guy is kind of sat here. Why have you got... I'm a bit worried about... He was able to sit in this section here. Why couldn't he progress up to here? I think it might be to do with the double signals here causing a problem, but I think we're just gonna have to live with that. Now I have been looking at this area here, trying to work out how I can do these back curve sections. And I think what we may have to do is kind of fiddle this a little bit so that I can make this in, because obviously what we're gonna have to do is the train's gonna have to go up round this loop here and back, and then come back to here. So what I'm possibly thinking is making this section 2-way. We've also got the problem over here with respect to this bit of track here, and I am kind of thinking that what I'm just trying to speed this process up a little bit. I'd like to put in possibly something like that, and then I have to put in a kind of little simple crossover like that, and then what I'll have to do is find some, what I most likely would do is auto purchase these and then we're sending the train up to build that there. I think auto purchasing some lengths of track are justified. It's probably the polite way of saying it, but I'll do that kind of later on, because otherwise things are just going to get messy. Overall, we've got problems. Let's just have a look here. We've got 285 over 21s. Now, I don't really want to expand Portsmouth and Gosport anymore. Just see where the over 21s actually are. So we got a few down here. Biggest concentration is there. I don't really want to see up here. We're okay. Actually, looks like we've taken a bit of a hit here as well. So what I can do is I'll pull out some. Yeah, I think we might have had a little bit of a kind of heating supply problem here. So it's just kind of, and I think we've got, because what happened here is we lost quite a few residents to winter. So how's that now? Get back to here. Probably going to need to pull a few out from this area as well. Yeah, I think probably what happened here was a food shortage. Yeah, we had a food shortage up here. Because of course one of the problems you get here is what happened. Oh, we got buses queuing up here as well. Yeah, one of the problems you get here is because the distance that the trucks have got to bring food up, sometimes the truck doesn't get up here quick enough during the winter. Just let that drop again for a little bit and then we'll come back to it. So what I'd like to do is get this food factory built. We can produce food here from this farm, and then what that will mean is that I can feed the population up here and then send food down to Portsmouth rather than shipping all the crops down. It's far more efficient to produce the food. So we're going to do that. Let's have a look here. And we got a lot of workers here, kind of got nothing to do. I think I've got a bus here somewhere. Let me just see. I don't remember. I don't really want to buy one because I've got a few spare buses here. Yep. What I'm going to do is we're going to set a pickup here and up here, and we'll send out workers there. That go. Yeah. And the advantage of that is I know the bit factory isn't work, but if workers travel out here, they may actually contribute to the construction here. So like this grain silo at the moment has got no workers, so if we can get some more workers into there, that will make a big difference. I'll check my silos. So we've still got a lot of food up here, because then I just want to see how well we're going down here. I think at the moment these silos are doing quite well because they're still pulling in the output from this area here. So that one's now exhausted. I think these two are these are the ones that tend to empty the fastest. And then of course what we got down here is we still got quite a lot of crops in here, because of course some of the crops are being brought down from up here. And somebody did post a comment about the food production and the farms. And what I want to do eventually is get this whole area kind of settled down, get the food production up to there, and then what I would like, ideally, what I would like to have is the food coming from Winchester, feeding Winchester, Expansion City, Gravelton, and a big proportion of Portsmouth. And then what I would like to do is some of these farms here would then be contributing to the fabric factory and the economy here. Okay, this is still being built. Good. I think while all this is trundling through, what I want to do now is we're going to come up to here, and I think we'll just put up, no, it's not that one, is it? We need to put in a rail construction office. It's just getting a bit close. Now, we need to find out where we can. I think there's a takeoff from there, isn't it? No, we can take it off from there. So, if for argument's sake, I put in, say, we can keep it fairly tight. Actually, I could put it that way, couldn't I? But then I'd have to kind of bend the track round. I don't think I'd just rather put this, say, about here. And cancel. Just press Control. I don't want that connection. I'm just going to put that there. And then this is just going to be construction track, so we don't need to worry too much about. That's terrible. Cancel that. I think we're just going to come straight down like that. View there. I think I always prefer the outside. I think it's actually flipped into that one there, so we're coming to there like that. I suppose. Oh, it's kind of flipped over. I didn't notice that before. Can you do it this way? And then you can come in like that. And I suppose I could put in a kind of slightly extravagant crossover there. So I'm not too worried about it crossing the road because this is a rail connection. And we just need to trace our way through here. We've got what I want to do is be able to connect up the what we call it. Got a tower here. Are you a footpath or yeah, you're a footpath tower, so I'll hook you up to there. You should get auto detected, and then what we'll have to do is find conveyors. I can stretch that out far enough. And what we should be able to do is kind of connect that through to there. That will give me a gravel connection to the rail construction. So what we're going to need on this side is probably put a small storage in. I'd like to curve it down like that so that it's close to this store. This is where we're going to hold the steel. I don't think we're going to need a lot in the way of, so we come in, oops, we come in here. I think we can get away with a small warehouse for the electrical components. I'll just put that, slip that in there. Get rid of you. And of course I mean, do I need a cargo shed here? I don't think I really need a cargo office here, do I? When I could put one in, kind of like that. Okay, let's just put one in. We can connect both up like that, actually, can't we? So that works. If we put that in there, and then I can connect this up with a gravel road because we don't need this here. We can connect this one with an asphalt road. Of course, we're going to have Gravelton up there, so we're going to need a bus stop here. Bring the workers in, so we can. I think what I might do is the Gravelton's going to be up there, so we kind of put this out, say something like that, and hook you up to there, and hook you to there. That gives me my second rail construction here. This will allow me to build the track back this way and push out this way, because we can take advantage of this connection here. And so we got all this area here. Now I have finished the construction office up here, but I haven't really brought it into action at the moment. Although I could make it into a road construction crew, couldn't I? Kind of thinking. You've got Havant Road Crew here. What are you doing? You've got an unfinished road. I think what we're going to do is we're going to turn the auto search off. We're going to let this guy finish off what he's doing. Where are the roads you're building? Yeah. Ah, so these guys are actually still working on the... Ah, I'm going to need you then, aren't I? Okay. So we're going to leave Havant Road construction. I think what we'll do is we got plenty of cash, so right. I think to start with, we're going to. The question is, well, in the short term, we're going to have to put you onto here, and asphalt wise, we'll put you onto. There's the asphalt plant. Yeah. I think while we're at it, we'll just put you onto concrete. In the short term, we're going to make you just keep you a road crew. So, buy a few mechanisms. We're going to need a couple of excavators, and of course, we're going to need dumpers. Lots of. We really want something that's got a lot more accuracy. Oh, look at these guys! 92 kilometers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I will do is go to the capitalists and buy a couple of capitalist pavers, and we go back to here, and we'll just buy the one roller for the moment, and we'll just set this guy onto. You're on auto search and you grabbed everything in sight. Turn off that. Oops, leave you on roads, buildings, factory connections. And I think at the moment we'll kind of leave this guy as a kind of assist type office as well. Could be useful. So all this stuff needs to be built. So if I leave him on in an assist role, actually, if I add a, I'm going to buy a couple of concrete mixers. We've got here 87, 10 tons, 90, 12 tons. Okay, wow, that's big. 95, 11 tons. Sorry. Actually, quite like these guys. I'm going to get a couple of these in. So this is going to be a combination of road crew and assist crew, I think. Actually, there's just... I don't want to spend too much money, that's the problem. So we're just going to let these guys kind of get out and do that. I don't want to put too much equipment in here because at the moment this guy's kind of hanging out there on his own and he's got no fire coverage. Did I put a fire station in here? I'm sure I put a fire station in here. That's a power station. I'm sure I put a fire station in it. Yes, I have. Just down here. But so this is coming along quite nicely. We're on the 19th of March. And I just want to see how things are going. I'm just going to... These guys are still working on the groundworks. We'll put the haven't supply crew on them just to keep that, push that on. I want to take a quick look at my trains. What I want to do is make sure this... Why is that train stopped? Let's have a look. Okay. I think to start with, we're just give him that job. We'll build the inward loop first, just to keep it simple. Actually, I think I've made a bit of a mistake here. What are you building? Oh, you're building that. Okay. Take you off. It means that my rail tracks have finished going the opposite way, which is a little bit disappointing. See what's going on over here. Yeah, these guys, wow. Okay. I'll just get that built in there. Hadn't realised they'd got all the way to the border. That is really good. Got a bit of a queue there. I mean, generally, Gosport has kind of settled down into kind of maturity, is probably a polite way of saying it. So they're actually running quite well. What's up with you? No mechanism. I think the trouble is they're just a little bit overloaded at the moment. Yeah, I just really need to catch up with these jobs. So we'll just come back up to here. Probably don't need the map. Okay. Yeah, the bus is working quite well. It's getting the staff down here. 173 over 21s again. So let's just find them and send them up to wherever we can. What we got here? Yeah, we got a few knocking around here, so we're trying to pull them out. Pump out a couple around here. From there. 12 there. So we got here 16 food. So it looks like we the food distribution isn't particularly that efficient. And just gotta pump those out. You've got no surplus. All the surplus is in Gosport at the moment. It's up here. So we'll just kind of perk up this area here a bit. Yeah, there's 2 workers, cardigan, pub electronics, sport. Not sure why we got a sports problem, because yeah, I think we got a little bit of an issue with transportation of food. Let's have a look here. Who is distributing the food to? Manchester Store 1. Yeah. Got a feeling that we need maybe another couple of cupboard holes up here. I don't want something that's really powerful. Let's see what we got here. We get a couple of those. I think what's happening is that because I've only got the 1 or 2 cupboard holes, we're not getting the food being transferred from here to here. This has relatively limited storage. And I think what's probably happening is most of the food is being shipped down to here for Winchester. Okay, so we've still got quite a lot of crops here, but we're only in March. We've got to remember that we're only in March, which means that sooner or later these are going to start running out, and then we're going to be dependent on the crops being brought down from here to here. Okay. Now the next area I would like to work on is around here. I mean, but I need to plan this area. I don't think I want to do that in this video, because otherwise I'm just going to add even more load to the system. How are you guys going? Portsmouth Groundworks, 7th Supply Crew. I think they're getting pretty close now to really needing support from our Portsmouth East construct. Get you going. Is this finished over here now? What's up with this? Why are these guys being so slow? Yeah, I've got too many jobs in different places. I think we're having construction on it. Having construction, strangely, seems to be the most kind of active participant. So we've now finished this section here. So what I need to do now is just drop in build that there. And of course the problem we're going to have now is that all the vehicles are going to have to go all the way out around the long way. And take that little bit of road out here. So that's going to kind of have a little bit of a negative effect on this area here. See what these guys are doing. A lot of what these guys are doing is up in Winchester. I think what we'll do is we'll get you with the assist for there. Yeah. Coal shortage, we got loads and loads of iron. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to speed the game up a little bit now and see if we can push forward with some bits and pieces. Okay, so we've got the electrical components. Steel is the big limiting factor, but I don't want to import steel because our money isn't brilliant, and I've bought a lot of vehicles recently. So we're just going to need to just keep an eye on the situation. Their meat. Yeah, I'm not convinced these guys are actually getting meat deliveries up here at the moment. But in some ways, I'd rather not deliver meat up here because if I come into here, we don't have a lot of meat production at the moment. I want to check the. Yeah, see, the food production's going absolutely steamingly at the moment. So that means that we should be able to be ahead with the food. Although it's still saying that there's a few shortages here. Okay, yeah, well, we got food stockpiles. It's good. How's the fuel situation going? Yeah, we still got a little bit of fuel in here. What seems to happen is that during the winter the fuel builds up, and then during the summer the fuel drops down. I think that's probably because of the fact that the fuel trucks are kind of wading through the snow, therefore they're not that efficient. You've got an unfinished road there. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to turn off your auto detect. Where's this road you're building? Just right here. Okay. Oh. You're building this little section of road here. So, yeah, because I suppose it's right on your doorstep. I think what we'll do is we're kind of pull... I mean, we got Havant Road Crew. This is East Road Crew. I think what we'll do is we'll move some of this stuff up to... can you load onto there? And then what we're going to do is send you up to here. Just take a bulldozer up that way. This guy's actually got 14 tons of asphalt in it. Maybe we'll be a bit cheeky here. We send... I don't know if a truck's got asphalt in it. Maybe we'll send you up there as well. I mean, eventually what we'll do is we'll build another road crew out here. There's a little bit of a map aberration there. There's the roads. I think these are roads here. They're just buried in the map. Oh, well. And once this medium office is built, medium distribution office, what we'll do is we'll get some open holes in here and see if we can push up some resources that way. Just had a thought. This guy's finished, isn't he? I need some open holes. Got a couple of buses there. Okay, we're gonna have to spend the money on... I think... Well, we're gonna buy a couple of open holes here. See what we can get. 16 tons, 31,000. Oh yeah, we'll start with about 3 of these because again I don't know 4 of these. And then your job is going to be to drop off up here. And what I want you to drop off, we'll start with bricks, prefabs, and yeah, we'll start with the bricks and the prefabs first and get them up here. So your job is going to pick up. You're going to pick up the bricks. Yeah, you're going to up drop, and we'll set this at 30%. Do need to check. Oh, fire. Okay, here's my fire crews. I think this guy is on the extreme limit of my fire protection. So this could be fatal. Oh no, here they come. Here come the fire boys. Oh. That was a little bit twitchy. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to make sure I've set this up. Okay, we're limited there. I want to take out the aluminium and the wood. Don't want to store wood in here. And I don't really want that amount of bricks, so we're just going to knock this up a bit. And I've set this around 100. 30% of 100 is about 30 tons. And I don't want 242 tons of boards. Whoops. We've got boards here, 62 tons. 285 tons of steel is way too much. I think drop you down to 97. Maybe we need back to 100. You're a bit too much. No. I think that there. 75 tons of boards. Now, I know somebody's distributing boards from here. Actually, no. These guys are actually picking boards up from here, aren't they? You're taking logs, and you. I'm kind of wondering if I can... No, I don't think I'll mess with that. I really need these built. I need a... Oh, you guys are out of work. Okay, haha. I think we'll get you assigned and you assigned. I didn't realise these guys had run out of work, and I don't think I really want to put in anymore. Actually, I wouldn't mind. Kind of question with this area is where to start. I think okay, that's not built there. What's this? This is a fire station. Yep, we'll get that fire station built. Need another road built in here. Pick that up. Just have a kind of check to make sure all the roads are... I think I took this route, so we need that built to there. As I say, what I've done is I've pushed a road through here, not so much from a transport perspective, but more from a perspective of ensuring that the fire coverage can come in from here, from the two different elements. Let me just take another look at road connections. You're not built. Yeah, not built. You're still pushing out there. Pushing through there. How about over here? Got the warehouse connected to there. Got that in there. We got this area. Want to put together. And just keep looking round to see what's going on. Okay, we've finally got a power supply in there. That means we got no workers. We got gravel, we got everything in here. A little bit, a tiny smidge of crops. I think what I will do, just to get this chemical industry up, to save me a bit of money, I've got some buses here. So what we're going to do is, first things first. Right, you've got no workers. Okay. I mean, we might as well get... I mean, I'm not expecting massive amounts of production from this in the short term. I think we might as well get some production up and running. Because I've got lots and lots of workers down here, so there's no point kind of wasting that opportunity at the moment. And what we can do is get a little bit of chemical production going in here. So we got the oil, we got a few crops, we got got 50 tons of logs. So the issue, as usual, is crops. Let's see here. Yep. You guys got chemicals. Yeah, you got 5.62 tons of chemicals. I think what we'll do is add you to here. Pick up chemicals. And then we'll just kind of remove you for the moment. And make sure I've set this up to receive chemicals. Nope. Ha. Yep. So we're just starting to get a little bit of a trickle of chemicals now coming out from here. And if I can keep the crops going, we can get the chemicals in here. That means we don't have to import them. And we can kind of just get this area trickling forward, looking good. So that's another kind of big offset here. Let's just have a quick look at the economy imports. Yeah, so okay, we just rolled over the month. So yeah, so we imported 12,000 in chemicals. The big bills are coals and crops, and then if we go to exports, isn't it? So at the moment, our last month, we're making a little bit from power, mechanical components, prefabs, bricks, boards. So just saving that few extra rubles with the chemical plant should make a difference. And of course, if we can get this production up a little bit more, it means we can export more clothes. Did we actually export any clothes last month? No, because we're not really getting... Probably find what's happening is we're not getting enough stuff for fabric here. It's the crop situation that's the problem. Or not the problem, it's just needing to join all these units together so that we can get things going. So, I mean, this is dropping. So, kind of crawling towards this. I mean, there's a very real chance that this grain silo will be ready for the next cycle. I think we'll put the island farm crew on there. We get anything starting to appear, so we're getting some resources into here now. So what I can do is change these guys so that actually you're on Hellas at the moment. Actually I think we're definitely going to move you to the bricks, get you up to here, and the prefabs. Because eventually, once we get this area running, what I'm going to do is shut down this supply line up here to here. And so what we can do is leave the expansion crews on here at the moment, because they're still kind of putting together this what we call it here, the this area here, and then we'll replace that. Let's just check my train, make sure he's still, yeah, he's quite happily laying the track down into here, so that's looking good. And we'll just come over to here and see what... Now, I'd guess that he's now working on this. I don't want him on this bridge though. We do need to get this bit in first, and of course then comes the tricky bit with this bit here. How are we doing? Well, steel production's kind of chunking along forward quite nicely. Really would like to... Right, we've now got this built here, and what I'd like is a... I want something that's going to be fast, that can pick up the necessary bits and pieces. And what we got here, 95. I think these KMZs, which have just appeared in this year, are going to make a big difference. So I think what I'm going to have to do is start upgrading my fleet. I think if we drop in a couple of these, it's this one I want to drop off on, just make sure. What's it? Fabric, electrical components, and what we call it. And your job is going to be to unload here, and we'll start at 50%. And what do we need? We need fabric, electro components, and plastic. Well, plastic we're going to have to get from the border, because there's no, I've got no plastic production whatsoever. There's the plastic. You off. Can't remember where the electro components are. I think the electro components are here. Let me just check that off. Yep. So you can kind of swipe the electro components from there. Now the question is fabric. Are these guys producing enough? So, yeah, I mean, possibly we could get them to steal some of the fabric from here. I mean, truthfully, they just need one load. You can get the fabric from there. Let's have a quick check. What's 30% of 10 tons? I think, no, we can't reduce that anymore. I'd push that up a little bit. Yeah, 30% of 12 tons is there. 3.5 tons, or maybe we'll just make that to 11. But that's the plastics. Now the big factor is we need to start kind of grabbing the mechanical components. I think we're going to drop that to, how much do I need for the ship? A cargo. We're going to need 45 tons of mechanical components. So if I come into here, and you're going to pick up mechanical components there and drop them off there. So you're going to unload mechanical components. You're going to pick up mechanical components, and we'll start at 50%. Now I'm not going to start bringing steel into here until we've actually got the template. I think if we can get the precursors into here with respect to the mechanical components and stuff like that, I think we'll be okay. And then that would get this industry up and running, which is going to be pretty good. Yeah. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we will be planning Petrograd, because I think that's going to be the next priority. It's getting this built so that we can start to increase our fuel production. And of course, we really do need to focus a little bit on this area here. And ideally, I would like to get this construction office doing a little bit more. But at the moment, he's kind of just pushing forward with everything that he can see. And, I mean, he's working on the quarries. Let's just have a quick look. We'll just keep building this in here. But my main concern at the moment is fire, because we're very, very vulnerable to what we can do. And of course, once this is finished, we'll use this to bring the equipment up to here and distribute stuff around the various areas here. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.